Yo, you already know what's good. This is your boy Carlos, and you're now listening to Hot Streak. I'm not alone in the studio. I got my boy.
Yeah. It's me, Saif.
What's good, Saif? How you feeling?
Feeling great, man. I'm really excited about this NFL season coming up and basketball in like 30 more days. But, all I can do is wait.
Same. So we're going to start it off with some basketball news. Last week we talked about the Pacers and the Lakers having the tampering issues. The Lakers were fined $500,000. And, Magic Johnson, being the gentleman that he is, accepted full responsibility for that. And he even told Jeannie Buss to take that out his check.
Ooh.
So I was like, damn, you already know, man. Magic Johnson out here, he's like, you know what? The Lakers shouldn't have to pay for this when this was just a mistake that could easily be fixed.
I read somewhere that Rob Pelinka is actually the reason of this.
I actually read that too.
Had to do with Rob Pelinka contacting Paul George's agent and saying, yo, what's good with you next year? Like,
oh, hey, how's the kids? How you doing?
Yeah,
how's Paul?
By the way, where's Paul going next year?
Right? Yeah, so I mean, Magic Johnson's not gonna really be feeling that $500,000 out of his pocket anyway. He owns the Dodgers, so I mean,
he didn't really come to do this Laker job for the paycheck.
Yeah, he's more emotionally invested in this job than he is financially invested.
And that's the kind of person we need on the Lakers organization: someone who's willing to take responsibility and accountability for their actions. And that's Magic Johnson right there. He just needs to smile, and you'll believe it.
That's true. He's got a radiant smile, man. That guy light up a room.
Yeah.
Onto the East end of the NBA, we got the Cavaliers who are actively shopping the 2018 first round pick. Do you think that they should trade that pick and acquire a new asset?
I think they should see what they can get from it, and if it's worth it, like if they could have got Paul George for it or something like that, I'm just like throwing random players, then yes. But like, they need basically someone who will try to keep LeBron for next year. And I at least shop. I'd be doing what they do. That's what I do in fantasy football. I shop around and see what kind of trades
what's available, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They're shopping that pick because Isaiah Thomas is reportedly not going to be ready until the All-Star break.
Wow.
So
bummer.
Yeah, that's a huge bummer, especially since the Cavs only have Derrick Rose as their alternative point guard option.
I'm telling you, the Celtics won that trade, bro.
Yeah, the Celtics definitely did.
They won that trade.
But I've also been hearing rumors that they're trying to shop that trade for DeMarcus Cousins.
Ooh.
So I heard a package, Iman Shumpert, and that first round pick to the Pelicans for DeMarcus Cousins. I also heard that DeMarcus Cousins said he would never want to play with LeBron James on his team. Interesting stance there on that.
Yeah, that's how you win championships right there.
Right? I think DeMarcus Cousins on the Cavs with that team that they have right now would be a super team. They could definitely give the Warriors a run for their money just because Boogie's so hard to guard. True. That emotional aspect of it, he could draw a lot of fouls. He could get thrown out of games.
Him versus Draymond. Can you imagine the little beefs and battles
that matchup
would
be intense.
Yeah.
But I also think that potentially the Pelicans have the option of keeping Cousins with Anthony Davis there and establishing their own sort of core to follow that through.
I like that.
But there is rumors that Anthony Davis is leaving after next summer as well. So who
Lakers?
knows?
No, I'm just fine.
I'm hearing Boston, a lot of Boston chatters.
Wow.
So I mean, if the Cavs did trade that pick, I don't feel like they will trade that pick until next summer, or they're going to keep the pick and then just rebuild because I think LeBron's already halfway out the door anyway. I've heard some interesting things about the Cavs as well regarding Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade, if he could get his contract bought out, that's preferably his first destination that he would want to land at.
Wow.
Cleveland, reuniting with LeBron, trying to establish a team there that could compete for a championship.
He'd be a good vet. He was good last year too. So
yeah, the only question I bring up with him is his durability. He did play well over the last 2 seasons. He is aging. I think he's been relatively healthy, and he looks pretty good in the summer right now. So we'll see. I also heard that he's actually thinking about returning to Miami or heading to the Lakers.
They did him dirty in Miami, dude. If I was him, I'd just be like, hell nah. Screw you, Pat Riley.
True.
I'm not coming back.
But at the same time, he still has a house in Miami.
That's true, but man, when you're Dwayne Wade, you could have a house on any coast of the United States and be like,
true.
I want to go here. I want to go there.
Within the last week, Kobe Bryant has also been sending out Mamba challenges left and right. He thinks he's Oprah.
You get a challenge.
He challenged, I think, Giannis to win MVP.
Yeah.
He challenged John Wall to be first team all defensive first team. I forgot who else he sent some challenges to. DeMar DeRozan, I think he challenged him.
Yeah, he did. And Isaiah Thomas.
Oh yeah, Isaiah Thomas to get back to the championship, right? Or to like get to the Eastern Conference Finals or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Kobe's out here, just doing his thing. More John Wall news. John Wall says that he's the best two-way point guard in the league. He's virtually unguardable. I think the only flaw in his offensive game is his three-point shooting. But that's not really necessary when he could get to the rim so easily. And then as far as his defense, I think he led the league in steals a couple seasons ago, or maybe is leading the league in steals this past season. John Wall's a stud, and he's loyal too, so he doesn't want to move from the Wizards. He's trying to bring a championship to DC.
We'll see how he signed a huge contract too.
Yeah, he signed a huge contract.
He's good. I'm glad he thinks he's the best, but I don't think he is the best.
You don't think he's the best two-way guard, offensively and defensively?
He's a point guard, right?
Yeah. Who's a better defensive point guard than him?
I don't know. Him, Westbrook.
I think it's him and Westbrook that could go back and forth.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of good point guards, but I mean, he's definitely up there. He's super quick. He's
explosive.
He doesn't have the best shot ever, though.
No, yeah, his 3-point shot kind of lacks. But his passing, his playmaking is amazing.
Yeah, he's a good player. I definitely think he's top 5. Top 5.
Agreed.
Yeah, and then the Rockets, man. While Houston's flooding, while all this tropical storm and thunder's brewing, we had something else brewing in the works with the Rockets getting sold for $2.2 billion.
Billion with a B.
Big B's. Big baller brand.
Maybe James Harden's going to get a new contract extension or something. He's looking at that check and he's like, whoa, let me get some of that.
Yeah, I need a piece of that. But no, I mean, that's crazy. That's a good price, though. I mean, NBA ownership is looking like a better and better investment over the years.
True.
All these teams are just growing in value and marketability. It's looking good for this guy. But he's gonna have to wait
That's actually the highest, the most expensive team in NBA history.
Wow!
So that's interesting. I wonder how much the Lakers are.
That's
worth.
Just for the Rockets.
Probably
the
like
Lakers,
$10 billion.
Man, the Lakers is so hard to put a price on that.
The Knicks would probably be like $10 billion too because of the market that they're in.
Imagine the Celtics,
the
crazy.
Celtics, Lakers, Knicks.
Those legendary franchises. I'll give them 10. Yeah,
$10 billion.
Crazy
for sure.
still though. That's how much the UFC was bought out for $4 billion. So this one team in the NBA got bought out for $2 billion.
Damn.
And that's kind of crazy. That just shows you how big the NBA is getting.
Yeah, the NBA is definitely one of the biggest sports in America right now. The biggest leagues in America. They have a lot of different aspects and marketing that they've done that the NFL has lacked or baseball's lacked. Baseball's just, you can't really change anything about it. I feel like the game is pretty much set. Marketing the game is pretty much set, and if you're not winning games in baseball, you ain't gonna sell tickets. In the NBA, you could have a superstar on your team, not win any games, and still sell tickets, aka the New York Knicks. So, I mean, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, they play in Madison Square Garden, so it's just that
they have to be selling tickets.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, no. Luol Deng still believes that the Cavaliers are an Eastern Conference championship team. I don't disagree with him. I'm tired of hearing about Luol Deng after that big contract he signed with the
Right,
Lakers.
Luol Deng, you need to get some minutes this season so they could trade you.
Stop doing interviews. Just take.
I actually heard some other stuff about Luol Deng too this weekend. He's supposedly buying a Premier League team.
No way.
Yeah. LeBron James, I think, is another NBA player who owns a portion of a Premier League team. He owns a portion of Liverpool. I'm not sure if he sold that or anything.
Oh, Luol Deng denies rumors.
Yeah, he denied the rumors of him buying, I think, Crystal Palace.
Yep.
But, I mean, that seems like a pretty feasible thing for somebody. I mean, NBA contracts, I'm pretty sure Premier League teams aren't worth that much money anyway.
Yeah.
So that'd be pretty interesting to see.
Yeah, wow, that's kind of... He also apparently says he feels Kenyan deep inside. So good for you, Luol Deng, staying true to your roots.
Yeah, he's a...
Along with the Lakers' main focus this year is getting into the playoffs, which is kind of high hopes.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Everyone on the Lakers, if you're asking them what their expectation is for the season, they're talking playoffs. Nothing less.
That's cool. I mean, it's not going to be Western Conference Finals. That's for
definitely
sure.
Not. Might not even be out of the first round, but it'll still be some good experience for those young Bucks.
Might not teams. Even be like 10-game winning season, but
Yeah.
No, it's going to be good, bro. But I just I'm happy because now they're going to have a bunch of Laker fans talking. Yeah, we're going to make the playoffs this year. We're going to make the playoffs this year. So
they're going to speak it into existence with all the 16 million fan base that the Lakers have all over the country. They're going to speak it into existence.
Straight up.
Hey, Saif, did you see that video of JaVale McGee?
Oh gosh.
I guess it's a superpower that you acquire once you start playing for the Warriors. Everyone wants to shoot threes. There's a video JaVale posted on his Instagram of him chucking up some corner threes.
Looking like a young Klay Thompson in that corner.
Yeah, he was definitely draining those shots like no challenge. You think he's going to shoot threes in the regular season, or you think he just did it for the...
I think he's being hypnotized.
I think he just did it for the gram.
I don't know, man. That rat tail, and then I'm pretty sure Steph Curry is like hypnotizing him in his sleep. But I don't know. Good for him. He's working on his shot. He's a solid player too. Like he's just adding more weapons to his arsenal, and he's trying never to be on Shaq and a fool again in his life. Which, you know what? Good for you, bud. Good for you.
Right.
But yeah, anyways, we got more football news coming up, soccer, Ezekiel Elliott suspension update, and more. So enjoy the music, and we'll be back.
This ain't no hot links. This is no hot chicks. It's Hot Street Podcast, man.
I got Hot Street. You already know what it is.
Yeah, man.
It's your boy Carlos in the mix. You already know. I got Saif with me.
What up,
right
what up,
here.
what
Tell
up?
him what's next. Tell him what's next, Saif.
Oh, I'm going to let you know. It's that young NFL, bro. And you guys already know it's been a lot of controversy. We've been talking about it for weeks, and the speculation's been growing. The hype's been brewing. Is Ezekiel Elliott going to play in the NFL for the first week? Or is he going to have a 6-game suspension like they originally planned out for him? Well, the answer is maybe. We don't really have a full answer yet.
So from my understanding is that on Tuesday there was a deadline in which all league official business was to whatever was still pending at 4:00 Eastern time was going to be eligible for what the season is. So they didn't have a direct response to the suspension at 4:00. I believe it happened after 4:00 where they said that Zeke was going to be suspended for 6 games. So that means that he's eligible to play in week 1.
He's still eligible to play on week 1, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be suspended.
Yeah, I believe the suspension will occur.
So the NFL, they basically ruled today, right?
Yeah.
That they're going to uphold his suspension of 6 games. But Zeke is currently suing the NFL. So that right now, basically the judge is allowing Zeke to play week 1. Is that what it is?
Yeah, until the next hearing or something.
Yeah, so until the judge decides, he could basically step in and say, you know what, this whole suspension's BS, you're chilling. You're not gonna, and he can step in as like, you know, third party, government, judicially say,
cancel.
You're done. Sorry, Goodell, it's over. You blew it. You blew it again.
Raja.
But Carlos, tell the ignorant Cowboy fans why Ezekiel Elliott is going through the suspension, even though there's no evidence. There's no clear evidence.
Every Cowboy fan that I know is just saying like, hey, they shouldn't be suspending him. There's no evidence to say that he actually hit the woman or didn't hit the woman. He's not being suspended for that. He's being suspended for being in the predicament in the first place. So the suspension is for violating the personal conduct policy, the league's personal conduct policy. Anytime a player gets in trouble with the law, they are they're eligible for the suspension. The league could suspend them for whatever problem they had with the law, even if they were found not guilty. So that's basically what they're suspending him for, the personal conduct policy that the league has. The NFLPA is kind of trying to fight this as well.
Right.
But
PA meaning Players Association.
Yeah, Players Association. So, I mean,
that's a dumb rule, bro.
It is a dumb rule, but I feel like they have to have all these barriers and all these
provisions.
All these
cautious.
steps. Yeah, all these cautious attempts to make sure that the player is clean or not clean, based on the Ray Rice situation. Because if you guys remember, when Ray Rice got suspended, originally he was only suspended 2 games before the video came out of him punching his wife. Mm-hmm. So once the video came out, it was like, okay, we don't need any proof. This guy actually did it, and that's it. Suspended indefinitely.
Right. But right now there's no hardcore evidence like in that case with Zeke. So he's getting in trouble just for being accused.
He's getting in trouble for being accused.
Yeah, so he's being in trouble just for being in this position.
And I'm not sure if this is based off of his previous
mishaps.
Yeah, because I remember before the draft he was actually involved in a domestic violence situation as well. Mm-hmm. So it could be just like his reputation. Yeah, his reputation stacking up against him.
I don't know. Like, I don't really like the rule just because it's such an NFL rule in the sense that we're just not going to deal with it. We're going to just slap a suspension or a punishment on it without really looking into it. You know, I feel like they're not treating it case by case, if that's the truth. And they're just going like, you know what? You're in this position. We're going to suspend you too. You know, like even if he wasn't like with Ray Rice, it was a crazy situation where obviously he's guilty, but like his wife and his family were like, you know what, we're moving on from it. It happened, but we want to stick together. She's like, I want my husband to have his job still. I don't want him to be kicked out. But they're like, nah, you're done. And it's just kind of one of those like no black or whites. It's just one thing or the other.
Yeah, and the NFL, there was an NFL spokesman that spoke to a source at ESPN and said the question was asked of Elliott's ability to play in Week 1. The judge in the court, before the ruling came down, said that not to rush him, and he was permitting him to play just so he wouldn't have to rush his decision. Yes.
Nice.
So I mean, good for Zeke. You're gonna be able to play against the rivals in the NFC.
You know, it would be funny if it wouldn't be funny, but this trial just went on through the season into the playoffs, and then. Like, he's in the playoffs, and then, they decide, you know what, we're going to keep the suspension. But then they're either going to have to decide, no, the suspension will be for the playoffs, or it'll be for next regular season, which is just crazy.
It's like what they did with Aldon Smith. Aldon Smith, he's currently on the Raiders roster. He's not playing because he's suspended.
He's a fool.
But I think it was 2015, he was part of the Raiders linebacking core. He played, I believe, 11 weeks, and then week 15 came in and they suspended him for a whole year. Damn. So they're pretty ruthless with it. Yeah, they're ruthless, especially with multiple offenses. Right. It kind of brings up the question because Sean Smith, another cornerback from Oakland, also has some domestic violence charges pending. His court date is in September. I believe it's the 29th. He's He's a cornerback, Sean Smith.
Okay. What team?
Oakland Raiders. He allegedly beat up his sister's boyfriend because the boyfriend hit his sister. So he defended her in some way.
Her honor.
Yeah, he apparently he stomped on the guy's head.
Oh, damn.
So he's facing felony charges. He's pleading not guilty. So I don't know. Are they going to suspend him even if he's not guilty? Or are they going to do, you know what I mean? Like, it brings up the question in all the cases now.
Yeah, they definitely have to go back and figure some agreement between the players and the NFL on how they're going to run their
because it's like if you go to court, you're already missing time from your team. You're already missing time from practice, from watching tape. You're already feeling that suspension in general. Like, you're already feeling the consequences of that. And then if you come off not guilty and then you still get suspended, that's kind of like two wrongs don't make a right in that case.
Yeah, plus like with this case, if you can't prove a player's for sure guilty, then they can just sue you now and just cause a court, cost money, all that stuff. That headache just becomes worse and worse if you don't take care of it. So they need to figure something out. But you know who else needs to figure something out? Brock Osweiler. Not really though. He just needs to figure out how to play quarterback position because he got dropped, right? So he got dropped from the Browns. We were talking about him last week, like, maybe he'll get traded to a better team.
What options the Browns had for him.
Yeah.
So one of the options was just cutting him, which they did.
They owe him $15 million still. So.
Yeah, they're paying him $15 million this year.
For nothing.
They cut him, and he has signed a 1-year deal with the Denver Broncos, the original team that he left back in 2015. Brock Osweiler, I saw his press conference. They caught him at the field, and he's like, "Yeah, this is like one of the top 5 best days of my life. Returning to this organization, blah blah blah." Bro, you're a backup. How could you even rate this as your top 5 best? Like, you won a Super Bowl.
For real.
But he's gonna back up Trevor Siemian. So they said that's basically Trevor Siemian's job to lose. I don't think Brock Osweiler is better than Trevor Siemian, but we will see. Denver definitely has some issues at the backup quarterback position. I know Paxton Lynch is hurt. I'm not sure if he is on IR, but I do believe that they only have 2 active quarterbacks right now.
Dude, I totally forgot Brock Osweiler won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he backed up Peyton Manning.
Wow.
So he's a professional backup.
Yeah, that was at Broncos here. Good stuff. Yeah. Good stuff. How much they're paying? Denver's paying him like a little under $1 million.
Yeah, something
like
really
$900K or something.
So I mean, that's good for Denver. I mean, they got a little bit of cap space left over. They did actually cut T.J. Ward, 3-time Pro Bowler. Ward actually said that he was surprised by the move. He had no idea. He was training in training camp, like he was a part of the team, like his job wasn't in jeopardy, and he said that was a surprise to him. He actually has already signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but he said he's focused on this new team and trying to make an impact on the new team.
Nice.
As long as Denver gets weaker, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
That defense is stout, so as long as everyone in our division gets weaker, I feel good.
Straight up. That's a reminder of how much of a cutthroat business this is in the NFL.
Yep.
They ain't scared to cut you off, man. But, so we're talking about Hurricane Harvey. Well, there's another hurricane coming through, and she's basically it's called Hurricane Irma, coming from the Atlantic Ocean. And
it's already a Category 5.
Already, so that's horrible. And then it's basically threatening the game between the Bucs and the Dolphins. So the NFL is trying to figure out where to relocate that game so that it's safe and it can be done on time. And they're thinking Pennsylvania or Philadelphia.
Yeah, I believe that if they do relocate, they have to relocate to an NFL stadium just for the instant replay and something about replays or something like that. So, we'll know more about that. I mean, we do record this show on Tuesdays, so we don't know all the news yet. This show does air on Fridays, so you guys will probably know more about that than we do at this point. But eager to see where they change this location to. More people coming back to practice.
Oh,
Le'Veon Bell has made a return to the Steelers camp.
Little Bill.
He's on that franchise tender of $12 million this year if he plays. He's trying to earn a big money contract. I believe the only way you can earn a big money contract is if you play a big money football. So Le'Veon Bell is definitely capable of being a star running back on that team.
He said he changed football like Steph Curry changed the NBA. How do you feel about that?
I think he's definitely one of the most patient runners that I've ever seen. Like, this guy literally gets the handoff and just stands there and waits for the defense to react.
He's like an owl.
Bursts through. Yeah, he literally just bursts through the line. Like the smallest little crevice, he sees the hole, hits the hole, and he does get some yardage on that.
Yeah, I mean, he's a beast. I definitely think that, but it's funny. He has a rap album too on SoundCloud. Really? Yeah.
He also applied to Dairy Queen.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he applied to Dairy Queen. He said he needed to have some backup options just in case the Steelers didn't want to pay him.
He said, like when asked about how come it took him so long, he said he wasn't trying to get injured during like practice and spring training. I was just like, wow, bro. Everyone knows you're just trying to get that pay.
Right?
But Cam Newton came out of the he came out and he said he believes Colin Kaepernick deserves to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. Wow. This is something I never thought I'd see. Wait. Why did he say he wasn't? Because like he's a good guy and
he believes that based off his talent, he should be a starting quarterback.
Oh, okay.
No, not based off of the extra baggage that's surrounding Kaepernick right now, but based off his talent, he said.
So is this like Cam Newton's way of indirectly telling us that the NFL is being racist by not signing him? Because
probably.
Cam Newton doesn't really come out for any.
Yeah,
like he's more. I think he leans right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that kind of more Republican.
It's just kind of a difficult thing to ask these athletes to comment on a political stance when they're here to be athletes. They're here to answer questions about game plans, not about political stances or political protests going on all over the country. They're football players. They're not poli-sci majors or political science professors at the university. They're professional football players. So.
Yeah, but Cam Newton, I'm glad you said that, but you really need to fix your fashion sense because I just think of him and it's just horrible outfits.
Cam Newton wants to be like Russell Westbrook, but can't pull it off.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, he needs to go get some fashion advice from Russell Westbrook because they're, like, competing for the worst dress.
Cam Newton, his brother, plays for Howard University, and they actually had, in this past weekend was the opening weekend for college football. They actually had the highest point underdog win, I guess you could say. Like, is that how you would? They were 40-point underdogs.
They came back, right?
I don't know if they came back, but they won 43.
They were underdogs.
Yeah, they were 40. They were 40-point underdogs coming in, and they won. They beat UNLV 43-40.
Wow.
Cam Newton's brother is the quarterback for that team. He's saying he's using his brother's performance to inspire him this Sunday and get a win.
Hopefully, you can score 40 points like your brother, but that's kind of hard.
Cam Newton definitely has some shoes to fill on that end.
Yeah, man. And fantasy football. Ooh, we getting started this week. I know all my fantasy football players, everyone who plays, just either had their draft or is about to draft before Thursday. But man, it's gonna be lit. There's so much to look out for. A lot of top prospects. Todd Gurley, watch out for him. Watch out for Zeke. I think Zeke for like fantasy football, he's kind of a steal because if he gets the suspension, 6 weeks, he'll still be there for your playoffs. So if you can, trade up for Zeke because it will pay off in the long run if you have a solid team to hold you off until then. And if you can make it to the playoffs, it would be clutch to have. But guys, we'll be back right now. We're going to talk some more soccer. World Cup, Olympics, And we got a lot of good music coming up, so stay tuned and enjoy.
This is Trey Hermoso, and you're listening to Hot Street Podcast with Saif and Sea God.
We're going back to back to Hot Streak.
Hey,
Y'all already know what's good. So we're gonna bring you some soccer news now. We got some World Cup qualifications. 8 teams so far have qualified for next summer's World Cup. We have the host nation Russia, Belgium, Mexico, Japan, Brazil, Iran, South Korea, and Saudi Arabia have all qualified.
What about the United States?
Ooh, speaking of the United States, they actually just played on Tuesday. They had a really tough loss the previous game against Costa Rica. They lost, I believe, 1-0.
Wow.
Then they went to Honduras. They played in the extreme heat, in the Central American heat. Gave up an early goal and then scratched out a late equalizer. They got 1 point from that game. They're currently third in the table when it comes to qualifying. I believe if they don't win a game, they have to depend on a lot of teams to either win or lose or tie.
Typical U.S., man. Soccer.
And if they do win, I still think that they have to depend on a couple teams on the results of some other teams, because there's like a 4-way tie or something.
Jesus.
But you already know Mexico had already qualified, so ain't no surprise in that. Ha ha.
Wasn't it a close call for them?
No, actually they're undefeated.
Oh, what?
In the
World Cup?
qualifying. Yeah, they're the leaders of the group, undefeated.
Wow, Russia made it, and the U.S. still hasn't made it. Come on, Trump. Well, I thought this was supposed to be some, Cold War type of stuff. The real Ronald Reagan would have got us into the World Cup. I don't know how.
Well,
I don't know.
The only reason why Russia's in the World Cup right now is because they're the host. So the host automatically gets a bid.
That'd be kind of awkward. Come stay at my house, but I can't play any games with you guys. That's basically what that's. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, let's just watch.
We're going to head over to South America. Brazil has already qualified. Argentina is actually having some struggles. They tied 0-0 against Uruguay. And then they also tied 1-1 versus Venezuela. They seem to be dependent way too much on Messi. That seems to be the biggest Achilles heel for Argentina, is having the best player ever be on the team. They look to him to do everything. A lot of the other players shrink under the pressure.
It's like me at Hot Streak.
I don't.
You look for me to do everything. No,
I don't know what you're talking about, Saif.
Some shrink under pressure. Some don't.
Either pressure either makes diamonds or bust pipes.
That's
and right now, Saif busting all these pipes.
Bop, 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 pop, pop.
Chile, also the defending South American champions, is also having trouble beating 10-man Bolivia. They lost 3-0 over the weekend. They lost to Paraguay. Now they lost to Bolivia 1-0, while Bolivia only had 10 men on the field. So there seems to be some sort of self-destruct in that national team. They have some quality players. They just can't seem to get the results that they need to qualify. There's still a couple more rounds left of the qualification. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're out, but they need to step it up. Same thing with Argentina and Uruguay. They definitely need to step it up. As far as Europe goes, I believe Belgium is the top flight, one of the top teams in Europe that has qualified. Everyone else is still battling with tiebreakers, and everyone's basically almost there. The leaders of the groups are almost there. Germany, Spain, France.
Man, I'm so stoked. That's crazy.
Yeah, the World Cup's next summer, man. I feel like it's been forever since I've seen any... it feels like 4 years almost or something, you know?
Who's your biggest contender? Who do you got winning the World Cup?
Right now?
Spain again? Or Germany again?
Right now, actually, I don't even have Germany in the top 3.
What?
Yeah, I think... I'll take Brazil. Assuming Neymar has a nice season with PSG, doesn't have any injuries, comes into the summer with a lot of momentum. He could definitely be one of the top players in the world. I believe he's definitely the top 3 player in the world. He's second behind Messi second in front of Cristiano. And I think Brazil definitely has a high chance to win this tournament. France, with all the youth movement that they've had, they have Ousmane Dembele, they got Thomas Lemar, who's like 20, Ousmane Dembele is 19, Mbappe's 19. They won't even be 21 before the World Cup. So they have a lot of talent on that team. I believe that's a strong contender as well. And then I actually just saw Spain play Italy this past weekend, and they showed complete and utter dominance on the ball with possession, skill-wise. Definitely a team to watch. They have a nice balance of veterans and new faces on the national team. Definitely some talent. We got Isco on that team. Isco's looking like a powerhouse right now, honestly. Nice. Ask anybody who watches international soccer. They're going to tell you that Isco's looking damn good this season. So we will see. You can't forget Mexico, though. Like Mexico, they're powerhouse, bro.
Right. Typically.
Yeah, so I'm definitely excited to see what's coming. I can't wait for next summer.
It's inspirational, bro. Like, I want to be balling enough to just go out to Russia and just watch one of these games, dude.
So I don't know if we talked about this before, but Mexico, Canada, and the U.S. have tried to get a bid for the 2026 World Cup.
Oh, yeah.
All three nations hosting. That'd be insane.
That'd be cool.
That would be
all
awesome.
Over North America. I would honestly be down to travel to like Canada, Mexico, and then hit one in like LA.
The good thing about it is they don't have to build new stadiums.
Right. Yeah. They don't have to destroy a whole city. They
don't have to destroy a city. They have enough stadiums to pick from. Basically, like the U.S. has how many stadiums?
A lot of big football stadiums.
Yeah. And
I don't mean football by soccer. I mean NFL, American football. But they hold like 70,000 to like 100.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what soccer.
Yeah, that's definitely what a World Cup final would be like. Yeah. And Mexico has an abundance of stadiums. Definitely have hosted World Cups previously. They have actually one of the biggest stadiums in the world, Estadio Azteca. It used to be the world's biggest stadium. Up until a couple of years ago.
China or what?
I think China has or somebody. I think one of the Brazilian stadiums that was built for the World Cup, that's now not even occupied. They don't even use it.
This is a little off topic, but China, dude, they created a whole remake of Paris, like the Eiffel Tower, a whole town.
I've seen that. Yeah, crazy. They have fake cities in China.
Yeah,
like if you want to go to Paris and don't have enough money to travel, you go to Paris in China.
Yeah,
they have an American city too. It's like some Wyoming city or something. I was like, Wyoming, really? You couldn't pick NYC?
Has there been a World Cup in China before?
No, there has not been.
Wow, that'd be cool.
I don't even think China's going to qualify. Yeah.
So many people in that country, man. You'd think
you couldn't even pick a 23-man roster to get you to the World Cup.
It's like really, India and China, man. I'm gonna need y'all to step up in the World Cup because you're the most heavily populated countries.
Yeah,
but you're not really producing.
So I have a prediction, or I have a question for you.
Okay.
What do you think? Who's your World Cup prediction?
Ooh, honestly, I like Spain, and I like Italy.
Ooh, Italy's not doing so well.
I know, but I'm about that underdog. But
that's true. There's a lot of teams that make that push as an underdog.
How is what's it called doing? Portugal.
Portugal, I think they're having it pretty easy with all the smaller countries.
Is Messi playing Argentina again? Because I remember last World Cup, he was like, "This is I'm done." Like,
oh no, that was was when they lost the Copa America. When they lost the Copa America on a penalty shootout.
He said he was done with national team, right?
But he's back. They convinced him to go back. They're having some struggles, like I said.
Stay strong, Messi.
They're trying to qualify still. So who knows? I think they'll pull through. I kind of hope they do, just because you can't have the best player on the face of the earth not be in this tournament.
Yeah, it wouldn't be I mean, unless he played for the United States or something like that. It's just like.
Yeah, right. So like I said, there's a lot of teams that are still on the fringe of qualifying. They should be qualifying within the next couple months. I believe the next international break is sometime in January, when the World Cup qualifiers will take place. They do it like they spread it out over the next couple months. I think there's like only 2 more groups or something like that.
Interesting. I mess with that.
Yeah, so
I like how they do their tournament styles.
True, yeah, like best 32 teams, and then the group stage, and then you lose, you go home.
Yeah, it's pretty savage. Yeah. Pretty ruthless out there, man. You could end up hosting a whole World Cup and not even qualify. It's just like, damn.
That's why they give the automatic bid. Because really? Russia was probably not going to be able to qualify anyway.
Damn.
They have to face a lot of, but it's an uphill battle in Europe. They got powerhouses all over the place.
True.
I think Belgium is a dark horse to win the tournament too. They have a pretty talented starting 11. They all play in the top flight leagues, so it's going to be pretty cool to see them. Yeah, man, I'm excited, dude.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Oh man, that summer is going to be lit.
Champions League, I believe, starts next week. So this weekend, all the domestic leagues will start. All the European leagues will start again. La Liga, Serie A, League One, and the Premier League. International break is over.
Hey.
So I think next week Champions League group stage starts. Yeah. I think the biggest matchup there is PSG versus Bayern Munich. So we're gonna see if PSG has enough talent to win the group and advance into the knockout stages pretty soon. They're going for the cup, man. They're going for that Champions League cup. So it's gonna be pretty cool to see if Neymar can carry that team. If Neymar does carry that team, this brings up to my next question. Who do you think would be able to win the Ballon d'Oro? Not Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo. Who's the next golden age?
Damn, obviously Neymar.
I think Neymar is a front runner for that. Yeah, Neymar is super talented. Even if you don't like his style of play, people say he dives a lot, he looks for the foul, but that guy is magic.
Who else scores a lot? It has to be scoring, right? It's a scoring contest.
Yeah, basically the best overall player of the season. So it's like whoever scores the most goals, whoever gets the most championships.
Damn. Who do you think it's going to be?
I think it's we're excluding Messi and Cristiano just,
give me a top
just for
three.
sake of conversation. I think Neymar, of course. I think Isco. And I think we could bring Mbappe in there if he has a good season. You could bring in you could bring in a lot of talented players coming out of the Premier League. Chelsea has a couple of players, Eden Hazard, or you could bring in, I'm trying to think, top flight teams. Thiago from Bayern Munich, also a good player. It's going to be interesting to see because I do think that Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi's reign as the top 2 players in the world, top 3 players in the world, whatever. It's coming to an end. They're both aging. They're not going to get younger. Eventually, they'll cease to exist in the starting 11s. I don't know if I'm ready for that, but it's going to happen eventually.
Damn, that would be such a sad.
That's going to be a sad day in soccer history there when Ronaldo and Messi aren't playing.
Seriously.
Yeah, so that new young talent that's coming out is looking pretty good. They're looking to burst onto the scene this season.
Yeah, that's tight. What's it called? When Messi and Ronaldo are out, dude.
Yeah.
How long do you think they can play for? How old are they right now?
I think Ronaldo's like 32, Messi's 30.
And what's that like for a soccer player? Because I know in NBA that's chilling.
That's not chilling yet. Or it's like almost to the end. You could say like, yeah, Messi's debut was when he was 17 years old.
Oh,
so take that into consideration. You got also Cristiano Ronaldo.
So like 35 is like cutting it?
Yeah, 35, you're almost going to be, depending on your position, 35. Like if you're a forward and you're 35 years old, you're probably going to go to a team in a very non-competitive league, the MLS, and you're going to get paid a lot of money to play in the MLS.
Damn, the world is going to feel every Laker fan's like pain.
Yeah.
And the Kobe left. That's how it's going to be when Messi and Ronaldo are leaving. It's going to be sad.
And it's not like they're not in shape or anything. I mean, obviously Cristiano Ronaldo is a physical specimen. Messi doesn't seem to be to the level of like physique as Ronaldo, but I mean Messi's magic,
right?
So it's gonna be pretty sad, yeah. Now thinking about that, but you got some hot takes? You want to throw in some hot takes right now?
Throw out some hot takes. I'll throw some hot takes. We didn't do.
Oh yeah.
We didn't do the NFL Week 1 prediction, so that's what we're gonna do right now, and. It's going to be
scores. Bring up those scores.
Okay, so we got First, Thursday, September 7th. This is the first game of the NFL season. We got Chiefs versus Patriots. Who do you think? Who you got?
I got the Patriots just because I can't ever root for the Chiefs.
I think the Patriots will win for sure, but it's football. You never know. But that's who we're going with.
You guys already know who wins this. Like I said, we pre-recorded this, but bear with us.
Right.
You guys don't know about the Sunday schedule.
You don't know that the winner of the Jets and the Bills is actually going to be the Bills, and that's the 10 a.m. game.
Yeah, that's going to be a boring-ass game.
Yep. Next up is Steelers versus Browns at 10 a.m. also.
That's an easy pick right there.
Steelers.
Yep.
Buccaneers versus Dolphins. I'll go with the Bucks. Carlos, what do you think?
I'm going with the Bucks as well. I think the Bucks are going to have a pretty good year this year.
We got an interesting one next.
I was going to say the Dolphins with Jay Cutler. They don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah,
they don't know what they're going to look like right now.
For sure. And our next game that same day is Raiders versus Titans. Who you got? I'm guessing you got your Raiders.
Yeah, I'm never going to pick against them. But I saw that they were 2-point underdogs, and that's fine by me.
I agree with the 2-point underdog. I think
keep on sleeping.
The Raiders are going to take an L on the first game of the season. Sorry to say it, Carlos, but
it's okay.
Titans
don't hate.
Yeah. I'm a hater. But Titans going to win that one. Don't listen to Carlos. He has no idea what he's talking about. Eagles versus Redskins is
That's
next.
a pretty good matchup.
That's a good matchup.
Yeah.
That's definitely a Redskins W for me. But I think
I'm going the other way. I'm going Philly with the win.
Ooh, Carson Wentz and
Carson Wentz
squad.
and company.
Yeah, I like.
They got Alshon Jeffrey. They got a couple pieces here and there.
Yeah, nice.
As long as they can protect Carson Wentz.
Oh yeah, I forgot that Alshon Jeffrey. But what's called Panthers versus Niners? I think it's pretty
lopsided win for Carolina.
Yeah, it's Panthers. Don't be a fool and please don't bet on the Niners. I don't care how big of a fan you are. This is interesting. Giants versus Cowboys.
Is that the Sunday night game?
That is a 5:30 p.m. Sunday night.
I believe that the Giants are going to win because the Giants do have a better defense this year. And last year was the first year of that defense being held together. So the second year is always going to be some improvement on that end. And I think that the Cowboys are going to be a little bit sluggish out the gate. I'm not predicting a good season for Dallas. I'm predicting them maybe missing out on the playoffs, maybe barely squeezing in. They're going to be on the fringe.
I enjoyed the Cowboys versus Giant game so much last season. Like, they were so competitive. It was great.
Yeah, that's always a good game to watch.
Always. And you just don't really know who's going to win. But I think I'm going to go with the Giants on this one just because Eli Manning, Odell, you got some good wide receivers.
Brandon Marshall.
They're going to come out big. Yeah. And, the Cowboys do have Ezekiel Elliott. They got Dak looking good. They still got the good squad.
The only problem with the Cowboys right now is they have a really young secondary. So they're going to be going up against some top-flight receivers right there. It's going to be a little bit tough to guard.
That's true. We got...
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, don't try to steal my shine like that, please. This is my time. Jaguars versus Texans. Who you got, Carlos?
I got the Texans. That defense is pretty stout. I don't think Blake Bortles going to put up any astronomical numbers on that defense at all.
I got high hopes for Blake Bortles and company. Allen Robinson. Really? I do. I think they're going to pull out a W by a field goal. Ooh. And that's going to be specific.
Upset alert.
Yep. Upset alert. Hot take alert. Next up is Cardinals versus Lions, which is, I think, personally a good game.
Yeah, that's a pretty evenly matched team right there.
Yeah, who you got?
That's a toss-up, but I'm going to go with Arizona.
Ooh, I'm going with them too.
Yeah, David Johnson is a real deal.
Yep, he can run that ball up and down the field.
That's the X factor right
Carson
there.
Palmer is one of the most underrated QBs, but also...
the biggest choker.
Yeah, I mean, so is Matt Stafford, but Matt Stafford's a beast too, so
yeah.
You got to take it where it goes. Amir Abdullah is going to be... I think he's a starting running back for the Lions. Not as good as David Johnson, but hopefully pretty decent because I have him on my fantasy team, and I need him to pull in for me. And
up next, Baltimore, Cincinnati.
Yep, Baltimore, Cincinnati. I'm taking Baltimore.
Is Joe Flacco playing?
I don't think he is.
I'm taking Cincinnati then.
Yeah, I don't think he is, but I'll still take Baltimore just because
Who's their
backup?
Faith.
Honestly, let me check. Ravens injury update. Alert. And it's looking like, man, these injury reports are so impossible to find. Okay, I can't find it, but yeah, I'm taking the Ravens, man. And you don't gotta agree, bro, but we're gonna come and we're gonna take that W.
And then we still got that. We talk about the Colts and the Rams.
Colts and Rams. We haven't talked about them.
I think the Rams are going to win that because Andrew Luck is not playing.
Andrew Luck is not playing, and he was like the only bright, shining hope for that team.
They had a very quiet offseason.
Yeah, so I definitely agree. Rams. It's a toss-up, but I think the Rams will win, and it'll be a good win for them to start the season because they could kind of figure themselves out while they play against this Indianapolis team that's hopefully going to be more lost than them. If you're a Rams fan. But Falcons versus Bears, I don't know about you, but I'm taking the Falcons for sure.
Yeah, definitely taking the Falcons. The Bears are projected to win 2 games this season.
Yeah,
I don't know against
Freeman's going to go off.
I don't know against who.
Yeah, for real. The Niners and the Browns.
Yeah, but, and then that late Sunday afternoon game.
Yup.
We got the Seattle Seahawks versus the Green Bay Packers.
Classic game. Classic teams.
We already know. Safe, just for...
Who you got, Carlos? I want to hear you first.
It's hard to go against Aaron Rodgers, but I did see that Seattle made an addition this past week, getting Sheldon Richardson. So that defense looks a little bit more ferocious than it did a week ago. So I'm gonna pick Seattle because I think it's gonna be a low scoring game, but I also think that they're gonna put the clamp on Aaron Rodgers. He's still gonna do his thing. But it's going to be probably like a 17-10 win.
Okay. I think the Celtics, the Seahawks are going to score a lot of points on us because their defense is going to be boo-boo. The Packers' defense is going to be boo-boo. And Packers are also going to score a lot of points. And I think the Packers will win, but I do think it would be a competitive game.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be one of the most competitive games out of the weekend.
Yeah, the best. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, it's going to be one. It's going to be up there for sure.
Yeah, and then we got the Monday night games, New Orleans versus Minnesota.
Right.
We're going to see AP versus his old team.
Ooh, I just traded away AP, man, so I hope he doesn't do that good.
I think Drew Brees is going to throw like 500 yards. Because I think opening day, Drew Brees throws like 500 yards
he's Superman
every year.
On opening day, dude.
Yeah, so I'm picking New Orleans.
For sure. I got New Orleans too. I don't have that much faith in the Vikings right now.
Yeah, they just don't seem to have a quarterback or any offensive options.
Right. Yeah, they just went downhill.
Their defense is looking good though.
Yeah, but who can stop Drew Brees? I don't know.
And then this is a toss-up for me, actually. The LA Chargers versus the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, I was thinking that initially too, but I'm going with the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chargers too. I just think that Denver doesn't have enough firepower this season. Their defense is looking good, but they just don't seem to have enough firepower. And Phillip Rivers...
They signed Brock Osweiler.
Phillip Rivers is still an elite quarterback. He doesn't always have the supporting cast around him. He sometimes does throw some costly interceptions.
Right.
But he's still pretty much...
He's a beast.
If you ask anybody around the league, they wouldn't mind having Phillip Rivers as their starting quarterback.
The Dolphins, the Ravens, the Niners, anyone.
The Browns.
Not just the shitty teams, but some good ones too, like the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But yeah. You got any more news for him, Carlos, today? You want to hit him with some plugs?
Yeah, I'll hit you with some plugs. Go ahead and follow us on Instagram at Hot Streak Podcast and on Twitter at Hot Streak Pod. P-O-D. Check out the website, hotstreakpodcast.com. Also follow CRP Shows on Instagram. He's got, I believe he's got a free up schedule, so he's going to be releasing a little bit more content for y'all asses.
Yeah, CRP Shows.
He's looking at me like, what? I got a freed up schedule? Yeah, Caesar, you do.
Yeah, you're free. We're going on vacation.
Yeah, and then my personal information, you can follow me on Instagram at chef_cgod and on Twitter at Tupac's Love Child.
What's your social security, dog? Tell him.
Yeah, that'll be...
He said personal information. Let's get personal, bro. Stop. Nah, but follow me on Instagram, Saif K94, SAIF K94, and you'll see me just flexing on everyone, doing my thing, looking pretty, talking sports. But tune in next week. We got some more news, and hopefully we're going to find out what actually happens with the Ezekiel Elliott situation.
And hooray for football. It's the first week of the NFL season. We've been waiting all damn summer for this.
Yeah. We turning up all football season. I'm coming in drunk. I'm coming in turned for every new show that we do this season. No, I'm just playing.
I'm making guest appearances. I'm acting.
I'm going on
singing,
Jimmy Kimmel. I'm
doing voiceovers. I'm being on animated features on all types of different podcasts. We out here, Hot Streak. You already know what it is.
Yeah, come back next week to see us turn up some more, and with your favorite sports guys, Carlos and Saif. You already know what it is. Peace. Rich Gang.
This was a Cesar Rodriguez production. Check out more at crpshows.com.